Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions, episode number 22. We're on to our second objective of the year. It's the Saudi Arabian Tour. And for this one, it's a big one. 3.5. It is our second biggest objective of the year. The objective to win a stage. Not the easiest of circumstances. I tried putting a rider in the breakaway today. Mulebron was there for a while. That breakaway only lasted for about 45 to 50 kilometers. Until the field decided that they were much too strong and pulled them back, completely exhausted, having worked hard to establish a 2.5 minute break, which is a real rarity in this game to have that level of break formalized and not succeed. But the new breakaway has just a 1 minute advantage at this point as we go through some one-star dirt and gravel sector here as we approach the end. We do have an intermediate sprint coming. Mulebron won one of those, so he has a 3-second advantage in the GC. That is certainly one of the areas I'm looking at with 17k to go. You can see we are feeling it. We're not very good on cobbles, but we'll be out of this here pretty soon. And as we are catching up to those guys, we're not close enough to impact the intermediate sprint, and that's fine. Larson is the one who's going to have the points jersey at this point, but we have an end of stage coming up with just 13k to go, so it's time to form up, chase those guys down, and set ourselves up for a chance at a stage victory. We're not good enough in the sprint. I don't think we're going to feature today, but if I had quick sim this one, that little gravel sector we had would have split the field. I would have ended up with most or all of my team out of the main group. There's a couple stages coming though that are much more to our liking, much better chance to get that stage win, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to go for it right now. Samuel's kudos aren't going to last very long under these circumstances as we go to bring in one final rider here, and we're coming up through the middle. I don't want to get squeezed too much. Samuels does need to continue to ride hard. That allows us to pull clear along with Youngle's squeezing us off anyway. That's because we ran out of the red bar. 9.4k. You know what? Let's go ahead and get Samuels onto the back. Kudos. Give me a little bit less. It's just we don't have those flat ratings still. We do have one domestique on the team now. That does give us an option with flat rating, but it's still not good enough in other areas for him to be much of a contributing factor. As we go inside 6k, gel up for the last of these guys. 102 riders all together, 4.7k. Zerai going as fast as he can. We'll get faster once we switch to Mulebron. Better flat rating. And we move on to it. But we are still, Zerai was still ahead of him a moment ago. 2.7k. Mulebron needs to start sprinting. 1.9. We are squeezed in. Mulebron gets clear, but he's out of red bar already. De Villiers has not been able to get clear. Arafane is not clear. Gibbons is not clear. We've got no chance at winning this stage. But I always figured it was going to be difficult with this field anyway. But we can't get a proper lead out. We can go 99 and still not be at the front because we just don't have good enough flat ratings with the team. Plus, we don't have enough sprint either. So it's not our discipline. This is not our area of strength. Field does split a little bit, so we will see some riders lose some time. That was what I was here to avoid, so we're fine for stage number 1. Stage 2, final 14k, and I've just set up my sprint train as we get started. This time we are able to get out front a little bit better. There's a slight uphill swing to what we're doing here, meaning the pace is harder to maintain for more and more riders, and that's good for me, as De Villiers has already gotten us out front. I'm going to let him lead a little bit longer here as we're at 11k. Let's go ahead and get Samuels to take over. We want to keep the tempo high because getting out front is absolutely our best chance at success. We have a 1.8 kilometer, 7% average ramp to the finish on this one. And for that, I've got my 3 best punchers. To lead it out, I have my guys with the best flat rating. I am down to 2 of those though, so I want Samuels to go on a little bit longer as we're still needing about 4k from our guys on flat to set us up for this one. In fact, I would switch back to De Villiers if I could, but it's too late for that. Okay, 5K to go. Let's go ahead and get Gibbons on the go. Arafane ready. Samuels, go ahead and drop to the back. Give us that little extra protection. And here we go. 3.8. Gel up for everyone. Okay, back to Gibbons. 3.5. Now we have set it up. It is starting to ramp up a little bit, but we're not at the 3%, which is why it's fine. Gibbons is done. To the back for him. This is one that I've set up as best as I really could. Arafane is done. Done well. He's got us to 1.3, so Kudos is going to start his sprint, and we are starting from a front position on this one. We've got Molebron and Zerai, 900 meters to go. I'm going to wait another about 50 to get Molebron. Molebron carrying well. Zerai is certainly well placed, but we are now starting to get beat. Can he get to the front? Can he hang on? No. Hershey's too strong. Zingle is too strong. We're going to just miss a podium even. Well placed, well raced. There's just too much flipping talent around us to get the stage win, which is why I'm having to focus on GC more than anything else with this race. It is just tough to beat these guys. You can see how quickly our red bar just disintegrates, as they just don't have great hills ratings. They also just don't have great speed compared to those guys. Hershey, much faster, might not even been full sprinting till much later than us. He's just quicker. That team though, woo, those guys, slow. We certainly beat some. To make matters worse, time gaps were given for the front three guys. Time gaps stopped being given once they reach our guys, even though they were very well placed in the standings. And then there was a gap from 41st on down, so the top 40 now separated by 41 seconds. That does set things up pretty nicely indeed for us. Molebron is 6th overall. We have Arafane, De Villiers, Zerai, Kudos, all still in with a chance. 39 riders left in that same time sequence, with 6 guys having some amount of bonus time, including Molebron. Stage 4 is the queen stage of this race. Stage 5 is a sprint stage that will not affect the standings, and as we are not competitive in the sprints, won't make a difference. The tempo has been crazy high. There's a 7 rider breakaway. Still has a 2-minute advantage, but they're pushing and we are pushing, and we've blown up the peloton already. This is not due to crashes or anything. Straight up tempo has decimated the peloton, bringing it to already under 40 riders. Zerai and De Villiers, who are domestiques today, they're nearly done. They're probably going to get dropped from this group at some point. They are just about hanging in there as the tempo lifted a little bit, pulling back those front 7. But you can see slowly riders are falling off the back, and I'm probably going to lose those 2 fairly soon. Here's the situation for the climb, because that's what's going to decide this race and why it's the queen stage. 2.8K, 12%. The top is 8 kilometers from the finish line, though, as you've got to continue on from there. So it could come down to a sprint or not. And so we really have to plan for both just a bit. My weakest sprinter in terms of climbing is De Villiers. De Villiers is in the 50s, and even though he's got good race day condition, it barely reaches 60. His flat rating's not very good either. So therefore, he is not part of the equation for me at all, why he's serving as a domestique. Zerai is the weakest climber, or one of the weakest climbers amongst the rest. He's good punchy, but he's not good mountain. There's your trade-off, and that's why he is protecting. We're down to 30, but it's also down to just a minute 15 to those front guys. So they can be caught pretty quickly when the foot gets put down. When we get to the climb, I'm still kind of torn on how I want to handle this, but I think I want to protect guys to the back end. Therefore, I will have the best climbers kind of in the middle, sprinters following, and if they're still there, great. They could sprint it out and go for the win. If they're not still there, then our climbers in that small group And we're definitely talking small group because we're down to 29. My two guys still there, amazingly, and this is it. We are starting to ascend. It's time. So we are going to go sprint train. De Villiers and Zerai are going to follow at the back and just hang on for as long as they can. Sprinters, I think maybe Arafane's going to go last in this. Yeah, because Gibbons is a little stronger. We'll swap them once we get to the top if Arafane hangs in there. But, oh man, we got to follow Molebron. Molebron is now the leader. Samuels and Kudos to lead this thing out. And we're talking about a 77 and a 76 with 79 stamina, with 75 stamina. So, based on the stamina portion, Kudos up first. We'll follow for a moment while we get in line here. I'm going to set about a 93-ish, 91-ish. Okay, let's get our team out front. That front group was starting to pull away anyway. It's giving them every opportunity to go and win this thing. 4.5K from the top. It was 2.8, right? 2.8, yes. So we've got just over 1K before we're officially climbing, though we are now ramping at over 3%. Which means Kudos starting to pull back these front guys. Samuel's getting ready. Now we will have to throw in a pause here momentarily. Zerai and De Villiers already dropped. We've split the peloton. Just 17 left in contention. Loving that part. Absolutely loving that part. Let's continue on at an 89. Arafane, Gibbons, Molebron all hanging on for now. Was that an attack from Page? It is. There's 8 guys up there, and there was only 7 in the group, and one of them had been dropped, but we've pulled that back. Yeah, there's Hershey. Samuels is done. So put these two on auto. This 22 is definitely going to split right around Kudos here. So we're going to see even fewer guys, and some of those are those breakaway riders that have been hanging on. We're down to 10K. And one climber left to get us up over the top of this thing. Hershey trying to ride away. Page with him. 15 left. Loving what this is looking like for the GC portion, as we're going to be very, very well placed. 3 seconds available at the top, so Molebron, if we can pull, he's already got 3 seconds bonus. This will give him 6. We're down to 10. Arafane out of red bar. Is he still in contact? Just about. Down to 7. Down to 5. I'm okay if Arafane gets dropped here. We're going to put him on auto. Molebron leads Gibbons through, so both pick up some seconds. Molebron ease off a little bit. Let's see if these guys contribute. Hershey, Page, Molebron, and Gibbons. We have a chance. Now, sprint out. Close call. Close call. Follow Page. Don't attack. Just follow. Molebron. Protect. Protect. Get dropped. All the same. Sure. Arafane. These two. Give me some 99 rotation. You guys are a minute 13 ahead of everybody else. Holy crapola. Now, we're only looking at podium here, but it's 3.4K, and Gibbons is a sprinter. Here's the problem. Hershey, 74, 80, and not exhausted. Far better climber. Page, 76, 77. So we're probably looking at third place here, folks. Probably. 2.2K. But this is now about we're on the podium. Red bar is definitely not full. We cannot sprint yet. Follow, follow, follow. Now sprint. Just don't lose any time to these guys. No way you're beating them in the head-to-head. You can see the red bar's gone, right? But there's third place. Should be same time. These two sprint 500 meters. We're going to get third, fourth, and fifth all over the GC after this. It's not a win, okay? But we got a stage podium. So now we're looking at that's still 1.8K. Samuels is going to be very well placed. 13th for Samuels. Kudos. It's going to be about 15th. What a result for the team in terms of what that's going to do for us positionally. Lots of points available from this. Saudi Arabia, it's 2.1. It's the next one, Oman, that's going to be the 2 Pro. So not a huge race on the calendar, but while we don't get the stage win, the stage podium means partial fail. But now, 3rd, 4th, 5th GC, Samuels, Kudos, both in the top 15 as well, could easily offset that partial failure, not getting the stage. But man, oh man, big time result considering the field that we were in. Gibbons finishing with Mark Hershey. Whew. Yeah, that was good. In the GC, Hershey and Page a minute ahead. Mulebron stays 3rd, Arafane 4th, Gibbons is 5th. He had lost time previously, but we gained enough time here to see him fly up those standings. Samuels, Kudos, 13th, 14th. Zerai is 20th. Big old gaps and a sprint stage coming. Speaking of, Hershey has the points. We're not going to take that away from him. He's a better sprinter. Mountains, there were no mountain classifications. Page unfortunately takes the under 25s, so we just miss out on that one. But we absolutely crush the team classification here on this stage. I think that was a very, very well done race from us. It's unfortunate we can't get the win. Those guys were just absurdly strong. They attacked, we countered carefully, cautiously, and had just enough, and the field absolutely blew up, and we were all over the high positions. But those 2 guys in particular were just too strong. There was really 6 riders that were too strong. So the fact that we were able to beat 4 of them and only be beat by 2 is a bit of a miracle. Hershey won the final sprint stage as well, just to add insult to injury, and Page was on the podium likewise. But we do hang on to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 13th, 15th, and 20th. In the standings. I'm really impressed with what we managed to do with just how much we were disadvantaged compared to everybody else. And even though we were set for objectives here, it's too early in the season for fitness peaks. So we got +2s. Fitness was very high, so the average +2. We didn't really average a +2 in the 3 stages we played. It was definitely a bit below that. We did average +2 is in at least the last stage. Maybe the stage before. The first stage, pretty bad draws. We had some big time negatives, well below what was expected, but it didn't matter on that stage. We were never winning a sprint. We can't beat Mark Hershey as a puncher either. I mean, 79 hills, and he's not even the strongest one in this field. We already see ourselves right where we finished last season, just below the super success, comfortably in the success range. Noteworthy results, double plus for the top 3 from Mulebron there. Nothing happening in the registered riders, and as for that popularity piece, Samuels and Mulebron, for now anyway, seem to be right about where they were, so I'm not seeing any initial boost regarding that squad. And so with these tough evals, it's hard to do anything with the other one. Next up though is our biggest objective of the year, the Tour of Oman, or Route of Oman as they have it labeled here. And this one, that's classified sprint, but that's my kind of profile though. We could maybe do something with slight uphill, but very much still a sprint. Punchy finish, 7K climb. That's going to be tough. That's going to be GC kind of day. That's where Kudos last year, I think we managed to get into the top 10, maybe top 5 even. On a 2 Pro. Yeah, Mulebron was 2nd last year. There you go. That was our huge bonus. Did he win a stage? I don't remember. That's punchy, but sprint finish. And then this too. So there's a lot of odd profiles with this Tour of Oman that give us a little bit of a chance to do something there. But we are going to need to do something if we're going to get that super success this season. Otherwise, we're going to be just cruising towards another just success, another 7K. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.